Okay, let's begin with a comfortable seat. Very nice. Thank you, Pat, for helping out. Everyone is grateful. It's really a big support to me also. So please take a comfortable and upright seat. I'm so glad to see you, all of you. Let's rest the hands in your lap, please, and you're welcome to close your eyes. We have this beautiful rainy morning here in Portland. And last night I was talking about when the surface of the water, of a body of water, becomes pummeled by raindrops, what happens to the clear view. So right now you don't have to open your eyes to see the rain, you've seen it, but imagine that the rain gently falling on the mind, the body of water of the mind, does not need to disturb your memory of the clear view. So your water, the mirror-like reflection of your mind pond, does not need to resist that there are raindrops. So practice sensing, what is it like when you are not in resistance? Like the beautiful glacial lake, the pond in the forest, they don't get to resist when the raindrops come. They accept. And in the pond of the mind, in the mind pond, we don't have to have our view forgotten. Even if raindrops are gently causing ripples, 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 we do not need to forget that there has been a clear view. So if you're able to hear the sound of rain because of where you live, maybe you have access to that. If you're not in an environment where it's raining, like maybe you're in Alaska and it's not raining, or on the East Coast, maybe it's not raining. Just imagine the experience of rain and the sound. It has a certain rhythmic quality. Now, underneath that rhythm, allow your breath to become smooth, really consistent. So the rhythm of the inhale and exhale, let's bring those into balance with each other. So if your inhale is 6 counts or 8 or 10, then your exhale is the same. And you can make the breath sound very subtle for right now. Right? We're not in a dynamic yoga pose. We're not doing vinyasa at this moment. So let the breath sound be really subtle. So if you do actually hear the rain in your environment, you can hear rain and whispering sound of the breath. And you allow for the sound of rain to be in the periphery of your attention. And the central experience is the sound of the breath. As light a whisper as it is right now, let that have your central attention. And then begin to lengthen your spine and sit slightly into the back hemisphere of your body. And invite the whispering sound of the Ujjayii to be just a few degrees stronger. Not that much stronger, only a few degrees. So you have this like dimmer switch capacity with your attention and your breath. Keep the throat hollow and open. It does not become more constricted when the breath sound goes from whisper to subtle sound. Now observe in the physical body, there is a place of what we call dense activity or dense sensation. How is the belly slowly expanding to receive the inhale? And how is the low abdomen slowly toning to release the exhale? So those sensations are going to be stronger, more dynamic than the sensation of the air at the back of the throat. And try to have awareness for that right now without compromising the breath. So down low in the first and second chakra, you can sense the muscular action of the breath coming in, the breath going out. And that's a place where your attention will be on more dynamic sensation. And then up in the hollow of the throat and the inner ear, closer to the fifth chakra, you're going to hear the more subtle experience of sensation. And the quality of concentration that you're cultivating, we would place the capacity for this concentration at the third chakra, where you have enough inner leadership with your mind to practice attention, concentration, and discernment. So with all of that, please bring your hands together now at your heart. And we'll chant together, Asatoma Satgamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Now the sound of chanting is more dense, more dynamic than the sound of the breath in the inner ear. So retreat your attention back to the hollow of the throat, the inner ear, and sense the sound and the silence that are there. And then you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, please, and quietly open your eyes. Okay, and we're going to come up to standing. So Pat, you can take me to the Sarahjoy phone camera view, please. Thank you. When you come to standing, let's do a little bit of warming up so that the breath feels more dynamic. I know that most of you just came from sleep. I came from sleep about 4.5 hours ago, something like that. So my need for that is different than yours, but I don't want to overlook it for you guys. So place your feet so they're as wide as your yoga mat. Let's make the feet parallel. Interlace your fingers and inhale, sweep the hands down. Let the breath be low belly, mid belly. Now the heart, including the back side of your body. Reach up high with the top of your inhale. And then exhale, push out to the sides of the room. Bow forward so that this folding of the torso helps you to complete your exhale. Now inhale, sweep the arms wide. Let's rise up, low belly breath, mid torso breath, upper chest and heart breath. Please look up. And then exhale, return to your heart, arriving there at your exhale pause. Clasp the hands, inhale again. Low third, middle third, the upper third of the heart and the upper back. And exhale, push wide as you bow forward, using the fold of the torso to help you complete your exhale. Inhale, sweep your arms wide, rising up, and the breath traveling low third, middle, and upper third. Please look up. And then exhale, return your hands to your heart. Arrive at the exhale pause. Let's do it one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Listen to the sound of the breath inside your throat. And exhale, hands to the heart. Release the practice of the breath and listen to the silence that was behind the breath all along. Now turn your toes out. Let's go heel toe out to the jazz dance warm-up pose. So come down like this. Yeah. When you press out now to the side, so you've got the inner right thigh, inner left thigh, press your knees out to the side, gaze down, and try practicing the breath where you can sense first the sound of the breath. It doesn't have to be the most dynamic, but it's not as subtle as when you were sitting in meditation. So see if you can kind of match the dynamic effort of the pose, just what's required, with the sound and the tone of the breath. And we do still want the breath to be low third, middle third, the upper back, the upper chest and heart as the final third. Okay, now we're going to add an experience for the exhale. You may continue breathing as I talk with you. So on the first exhale that comes into this practice, we're going to make a humming sound. On the second exhale in this sequence, we're going to make the sound of the milkshake straw. And on the third exhale, we'll make the sound of the tiny cocktail straw, which is very silent. Okay, so let's begin with an inhale from the low third, mid third, upper third. Please take your time. Inhale. Take your time. Milkshake straw. Inhale, slowly, with confidence and steadiness, even into the upper third of the breath. Now like a tiny cocktail straw for the exhale. At the end of that exhale, the belly will be very toned, and then you release the belly. Let the next inhale blossom into the body. And push down to rise up to standing. Please make your feet parallel. So that we're going from a dense to a more subtle. And by dense, what I mean is the hum sound has a vibration. And it's causing a vibration inside. So it has a more dense presence than just the breath. And the is more subtle than but not as subtle as. So with the wide leg forward bend, please come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. You may rest your fingertips on the floor or use your yoga blocks if you prefer. And let the torso cascade down like the element of water. So from the pelvis through the second chakra, through the torso like a waterfall. Place the tip of your tongue behind the top two teeth so that the Ujjayii breath has a hollow space at the back of your throat. And then please inhale through the nose, first third, mid third, and the upper third of the breath. Inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And a very tiny cocktail straw, so you're going to exhale as thoughtfully and completely as you can. The breath will probably sound silent inside. And at the end of the exhale, when the belly is its most toned, then you quietly release the tone of the belly and let the next in-breath just come into the body. Now please shift your hands to your hips. Rise up to standing. Nice job. And step your feet together. So we're going to use that practice intermittently. We'll come back to it. And right now we're going to use the sun salutation for larger movement, but slowly, so you can sense the awakening of the body. And I'm going to ask you to attend to the sensation of the breath, which is more subtle, and then the sensation of the breath and the actions of the pelvis here, which will be more dynamic. So please step to the front of your mat. If you're using blocks, as I'm prone to recommend, then you can put the blocks at the top of your mat right now too. Like this. Okay, and join your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And listen inside for what's already occurred in your practice, in this plumb line in the body. Place the tip of your tongue behind the top two teeth. Make the back of the throat hollow. If you were a beginner and this practice was going to be difficult for you physically, we might need a more robust Ujjayii inhale effort, but you are not beginners. I have seen you for some time. So let's use about half of the strength of your Ujjayii breath, like on the dimmer switch of your peak or your most subtle. And then inhale the hands down, wide and up. Exhale to chair pose, please. Okay, inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair pose. Arrive at the bottom of your chair pose, at the bottom of your exhale. One more time, inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Listen for the breath, let it have your primary attention. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Now sweep your left arm down between the two knees. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale to unwind. So this is a twist in chair pose, Parita Utkatasana. Inhale, twist to your right. Listen for the breath sound to guide the quality of your efforts. And exhale to unwind. And do that one more time. You can move your twist as if you were moving through water, not causing a big disturbance. And exhale to unwind, return to chair pose. Inhale, upward hands pose. And exhale, chair pose. Bring your right arm down to the inside of the knees. You can brace against your right knee. Inhale, twist left. Exhale to unwind. Inhale, twist left as if moving through water that you are not disturbing. Exhale to unwind. Keep the lower hemisphere of your body very stable. So both heels, knees, and hips are steady as you inhale, twist left. Exhale to return to chair pose. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. And then exhale, sweep your arms wide, open your chest and your heart and your throat. Return to the heart. Notice your heartbeat in your chest, your breath rate, your body temperature. Now we'll take the next layer of the sun salutation. So inhale, using your sort of medium dynamic Ujjayii breath. Chair pose. Inhale to rise, upward hands pose. Now we're going to exhale, swan dive forward. Energize your legs, keeping the legs steady. Let the torso bow forward smoothly, as if moving through water that you're not disturbing. Inhale, glide your heart forward. Exhale, step your left foot straight back. If possible, be on the toes. If necessary, put your heel down. Otherwise, inhale, rise to your crescent lunge. Now we're going to stay here. I trust you guys have some steadiness in your practice because I've seen it. So let your attention first be on the sound of the breath. Medium dynamic Ujjayii breath. It will help you if you focus your gaze on something that's not moving about. So your concentration inside becomes deeper. Now deliberately move your awareness to the pelvis and the dynamic actions that you're making at the pelvic floor. It does not need to be tense. The word dynamic means that you're engaging muscles and there's tone. Notice the outer right hip, the deep low belly, and how these muscles are supporting the breath and the stability of your pose. And then bring your awareness once more to the subtlety of the breath and let the pose fountain upwards. And then let's exhale, sweep the arms wide as if moving through water that you're not disturbing. Come slowly over to touch the two blocks. Please step your left foot forward. And exhale, bow towards your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide your heart forward. Listen to the power of the breath when it's subtle in the inner ear. Exhale, right foot back. Inhale to rise using your sort of medium level Ujjayii breath. Not your most vigorous effort, not your most subtle, medium. You can let the pose become very still so that your mind is able to take a seat inside It's really inside the 5th chakra. The mind can only sit there if we have enough leadership with our concentration, and that's down at the 3rd chakra. So we have to say no to the distractions and yes to this inner sort of powerful practice at the throat. Some of you will find that you actually could close your eyes and you won't be losing your balance or hardening your face. Let's see about the dynamic actions now down at the 1st and 2nd chakra in the pelvis. Again, dynamic doesn't mean tense, doesn't mean that you're becoming more tense. Now, as you exhale, sweep your arms wide, like moving through water that you're not disturbing. Put the 2 blocks aside and please step backwards to downward dog pose. And in downward dog pose, let's linger in the breath. Let's bask in the breath, right? So long, smooth inhale. To the best of your ability, a long, smooth exhale. This pose is more inward, so you could actually take that dimmer switch for the Ujjayii and make it a little bit more subtle. Now, the more subtle the breath, the more tone you may start sensing at the base of the belly, because you are in a weight-bearing yoga pose. Please do 2 breath cycles more. And then inhale and glide forward to plank pose. Put your gaze down in plank pose between your thumbs. Lift the base of your skull and move your awareness from the sound of the throat and the breath down to the pelvis and the tone of the belly. Trusting that that will remain, move your awareness back up to the throat and the sound of the breath in the back hollow of the throat. The way you move your concentration and attention, that's led by the 3rd chakra, where you have enough inner leadership. With your exhale, bend your elbows, come down onto your stomach. Please point your toes. And let's inhale and roll up to Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And then exhale and glide down. Roll down like vertebrae by vertebrae until your heart reaches the floor and then your forehead. Inhale to roll up. And exhale to glide down. Take the shoulders back so your heart is foremost on the way down. Inhale to roll up. And the heart actually leads the way here too. The head comes up towards the end of Cobra pose. And exhale to glide down. Twice more, please. Inhale to roll up. And exhale to roll down. One more time. Place your hands beneath your shoulders. Press up to table pose. Reach back to child's pose for a few moments. And then take your block and bring yourself into Vajrasana. It means that you're going to sit Zazen style on your block. Let both hips have equal presence there. Rest your hands, palms face down in your lap. So that's a slow moving practice, and we will have something more dynamic, more rajasic in a few moments. But let this now settle in. Listen to the central plumb line in the body. Invite your attention to be on that silence inside this central channel that is the absence of thought. even if thought is running around the edges of your attention. Now we're going to use the inhale through both nostrils, Ujjayii Inhale, and we'll do hum, then we'll do milkshake straw, then we'll do cocktail straw. So it's 3 breath cycles. So let's inhale together, please. Inhale slowly. And inhale from the bottom to the top slowly. Now tiny cocktail straw. Deeply relax the belly. Let the inhale come. And move your attention to the witness. You're observing the breath, breathing you. And then please release from there and place both blocks for your feet to stand on like this. I'm going to turn to the side view because I think it's more fair for you to see it that way. You'll have an easier time understanding what I'm saying. We go like this. Yeah. And actually you can stay on the tall camera, Pat. Thank you for adjusting, but go back to the phone because when I stand up, you won't see the full body. So you're going to see a profile here of the sun salutation from these 2 blocks. So this is going to require you to be a little bit more dynamic. And if the blocks that you're using are wobbly, then you have an even more potent opportunity to practice balancing. So step up, please. Now you can see, Pat, why the other camera wouldn't work so well. Okay, so here we are on the 2 blocks. You don't look any taller to me right now, but you might feel taller. You raise both arms, please. Okay, Ujjayii exhale, chair pose. Ujjayii inhale, rise up. Ujjayii exhale, sweep the arms wide and just come to Anjali Mudra. Keeping the eyes relaxed, Ujjayii inhale, raise your arms. Okay, exhale, chair pose. Now as you inhale, put your body weight into your right leg only in chair pose. And then exhale and glide your left toes and your right hand back as you step down with the left foot to the base of Virabhadrasana 1. Now inhale, sweep your right arm forward to pick up your left arm and your torso and your heart. Lift your gaze. And see if you can bring with you the amount of Ujjayii breath in terms of the sound and the tone and the quantity, just the amount that you need right now. So without any sense of grasping or greed, we have the amount of breath that the system, that your ecology needs right now. And then as your next exhale, Ujjayii exhale, reach your torso forward, sweep your right arm back. So you're in this kind of preparatory position. There's the exhale. And then inhale, float forward to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, sweep the arms wide. Join your hands to your heart. Second side. Inhale, raise both arms, reaching up long and tall. As you exhale, sit down to chair pose. On the inhale, put your weight into your left leg. The right leg is a decoration right now. And then exhale, reach back with your left arm and your right leg. Right big toe, mound of the big toe, inner heel. And then inhale, sweep your left arm forward. Pick up your right arm on the way. Now, as you gaze up, listen for how you use the breath inside the body. And how much dynamic effort is needed with the breath, with your mind or your concentration. And then when your exhale comes, so in your own rhythm, reach the torso forward, sweep your left arm back. And then inhale, push down to rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, sweep the arms wide. Return to your heart. And listen inside for the rajas, that is the guna of motivation, the guna of action, the guna of enthusiasm. Listen inside for that. Okay, again, inhale, raise your arms. Using a little bit more dynamic Ujjayii, if you need to for concentration, but without any sense of coercion, right? Exhale to chair pose. Don't come into a forceful or coercive or even like an attitude of greed with your body right now. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Exhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Put your weight into your right leg. Enjoy the inhale. And then exhale, glide your right arm and your left leg back. Inhale to rise, Virabhadrasana 1. Now exhale, sweep the arms wide, gaze up, lift your heart. Inhale, raise your arms, gaze forward. Exhale, sweep the arms wide, gaze up, lift your heart. Inhale, raise your arms, bring your gaze forward. One more time, exhale, open the chest and the heart. Inhale to rise. And exhale, aim forward, sweep your right arm back alongside your torso. And then inhale, rise up, upward hands. And exhale, arms wide, return your hands to your heart. Second side, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, chair pose. No sense of urgency or frenzy, with the absence of greed and the absence of grasping. Inhale, rise up to upward hands pose. Exhale, bend your knees, chair pose. On the in-breath, put your weight into your left leg primarily. And then when you exhale, sweep your right leg and your left arm back. And then inhale, rise. Pick up your right arm along the way. And exhale to open. Inhale to go up, gaze forward. Exhale to open, gaze upwards. Inhale to rise, gaze forward. One more time, exhale, open and gaze upwards. Inhale to rise, gaze forward. And then exhale, aim forward with your torso, bring your left arm back alongside your body. And inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms wide. Return to your heart. If it's possible, close your eyes gently. And even deeper than the sensations of heat, heart rate, and breath rate, go to the inner silence in the central channel of the body. That which is not thought, neither past nor future, nor clinging nor aversion. Now standing on your right leg only, please. I'm going to change that my left leg will be my right leg for now. So you're going to bend the right knee and take the left toes back again like we were just doing. And then turn to Warrior Two. So when you have the foot elevated in Warrior Two like this, for some of you, the hips are going to be easier to level. Give a little peek down and check that your heels are lined up like on a, not really a balance beam. I couldn't say that because your back foot would want to intersect the balance beam. So just more like you're lining up right toes, right heel, whatever image you want to use for that. And bring your hands together at your heart. When you aim the right knee long through here, whatever the shape of your hip socket, whatever the flexibility of the inner thigh, that's the angle that your pelvis is going to be at. So my pelvis is not right now 180. We tossed that instruction out years ago, but for anybody who didn't get the message, the pelvis is at the angle that you are able to create as you lengthen your right inner thigh to your right knee, then you draw the left low belly in and lift the pubic bone up. So right here then, rest your mind on the dynamic actions of the pelvis, while you know the subtle, more subtle sensation of the breath in the throat is going on. You're welcome to close your eyes if that deepens your concentration. Your pose might wobble a little bit when you close the eyes, but within reason, you'll be in your plumb line. Notice what is dynamic in the pelvis, what is more subtle in the throat, and the most subtle is even more subtle than that, up in the sense of inner sight. As you watch yourself in this practice, as you bring your benevolent witness to see what you're doing. And then bring your right forearm down to your right thigh like this, and sweep your left arm past your left ear. You're doing beautifully, thank you. I can see you on my monitor over there. I see you on this monitor, and I can see you in my mirror over there. So when you press into your left heel, lengthen the left side of your waist. And then as you exhale, let's rotate down, face towards the two blocks. Bring your left fingertips down to your block. Pivot your left heel up. Place your right fingertips on your block and step your right foot back so that now you can put the two hands and come to a kind of downward dog pose with your hands on the blocks. And notice the efforts required there. The hands can be kind of flat on the block, almost like gripping it like this. Your dog cannot be as long as you normally have it because you might feel your block start sliding, so don't go quite that long. Yeah, good. Okay, now let's take an inhale in this downward dog pose. Enjoy the breath. And then exhale, roll your knees down. Take one block and come back to child's pose. And watch your body go from actions, we could say the rajas guna, down to stillness, the guna of tamas, the more stabilizing guna. And see if your body on the exhale can kind of have this feeling of sighing or releasing whatever you've been carrying, the unhelpful things you've been carrying. And quite specifically, let your heart start releasing whatever it's been carrying. Sometimes the heart doesn't realize it's become sort of the lower three chakras. Without resolving their own material, they're kind of giving it over to the heart. So you take care of it, you take care of it, you take care of it. But the heart does need to be supported by the first three chakras. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to walk your hands back to your knees, and with those same two blocks, rise up to standing. I just switched my view so you can see the other side, and I'll call my right leg my left leg now. Some of you are yoga teachers, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to mirror you with my left leg being my right leg, but right now being your left leg. So bend the left leg like this, so you have the shin vertical. And this is only one block here. I'll just show so you can see more clearly. One block under my foot. Good. Bring your hands together at your heart. And then let your attention come down into the pelvic bowl, into this region. Your attention can go there while your hands rest at your heart. Or if it's helpful for you to locate your mind in this part of the body, you could put your hands on your hips. And then sense the dynamic actions. These are requiring participation, some rajas. So the inhale, we do want this concentric sense of expansion, including the sides and the back. And the exhale, a consistent sense of toning, as if the two front hip bones might come towards the center line as the center line is rising up. You might choose to close your eyes. Yeah, your pose might sway a little bit when you close your eyes, it's all right. Energize your right leg into your heel, and then bring your left forearm down to your left thigh. Sweep your right arm past your right ear. And listen for the way the actions of the legs support the breath in the belly, and the leadership with your mind lets you sense the breath in the back hollow of the throat. You're doing such a beautiful job. Thank you for your efforts, your willingness, your dedication. So when you next exhale, then start lowering your right arm down. And I had moved my block, so if you did the same, you should bring it back in. Let's place the right fingertips on this block. Pick up your right heel. Take the left fingertips to occupy the other block. Step backwards and then flatten the palms to come into your downward dog pose with the two blocks. Yeah, very nice. Good. Yeah. And then from your downward dog pose, just very thoughtfully bring your knees down and reach for one block to put under your forehead. It's okay to separate the knees to the extent that you need to. And then rest your forehead down on the block. And invite the heart to know it has permission. The first three chakras are going to start being responsible for their own work, their own imperatives. So the heart here can release that which it's been carrying, that which was handed to it. If the first three chakras, they were kind of timid about doing their own work. Not in any malicious way, you know. We spoke about that last weekend during the retreat. And then please walk your hands back towards your knees and take your one block like this in the Zazen or Vajrasana. You can sit on it and position yourself there so your hips are level, thighs and knees comfortable. If some of you need to sit on more than one block, you can stack them. I wouldn't go up too super high because then it's a different experience for the pelvis if we're up like this. Plus, we're going to be bending forward in a few moments. I don't want you to be so high from the floor, but what your knees need, you should provide. And for some of you, it makes more sense to sit in a chair right now and to have a place when you're going to bow forward, maybe the coffee table or the bed or something that's in your space that you can bend forward to. But for now, we're going to sit and let that practice kind of simmer in before we do pranayama once more. You can feel the temperature of your body, the innervation, respiration. Go to the even more subtle place where attention is observation. We're not analyzing. We're not evaluating. Now I'm going to ask you to use your hands if it's helpful for you to do so. There's going to be low third. Middle third is really also the sides of the ribs. And then the upper third is the heart and also the back of the heart. At the top of the inhale, we're going to hold the breath. You'll see me make this action. That means we're doing the breath hold. To hold the breath, you have to lift the chest, brighten and puff the chest up. Tone the low belly in and up, and the chin will come down and in. So the chest is, the heart is the focus of that. Okay, so low belly, side ribs, heart, and then I'll do this for the breath hold. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go with me there. Okay. So come into the Ujjayii breath. Inhale the first third of the breath in the low pelvis, the middle third of the breath in the mid torso going wide, and then the upper third of the breath, including the upper back. And you're going to hold the breath in. And exhale through both nostrils slowly and completely, using the low belly to support the exhale process. At the end of the exhale, when the belly is most toned, then release that tone gently. Let the inhale blossom into the body. Okay, again, one hand on the low belly, one hand to the side ribs. Okay, inhale first third, middle, and then upper. Hold the breath. Exhale through both nostrils from the low belly, low belly, low belly, mid belly, the mid to upper belly. Exhale completely. And as you tone the belly, then release. Let the inhale come. This time we're going to use the hum sound. So place one hand on the low belly, side ribs, preparing. So we inhale first third, middle third, upper third. And then holding the breath in. All the way to the end for you. Belly toned and then release. Let the inhale blossom into the body. Same thing again. You can place the hands if it's helping you, low belly, side waist, also the back of the body. Begin the inhale. And holding the breath. Keep humming to the end of your exhale. The belly most toned there. And then you allow the inhale. This time we're going to be bowing forward for the exhale, and we'll use the milkshake straw. So just check and see that you could bow forward, your hands can touch the floor, and maybe the head will come down all the way, or perhaps you're going to have something for your head to land on like this. Okay. Low belly, side belly. Let's begin the inhale. And then holding the breath in at the top. Place your hands. As you tone the belly completely to expel the exhale, then deeply relax the belly and allow the in-breath to come. And sense the in-breath wanting to also experience the back hemisphere of the body. And hands back to your knees. Press yourself up to kneeling. We're going to repeat that. So low belly, sideways. Begin your inhale when you're ready to. Holding it in. Place the hands. Allow the inhale. And let the heart release again, whatever it's been carrying. So the duties go back down to the third chakra, the second and the first. Hands to your knees, walk upright. Now we'll use the cocktail straw exhale. And this time when we come down to that child's pose after the exhale and we're down, we're going to place the forearms on the floor like this. So the upper back and the heart relax a bit more. And if you're using a chair, so you're sitting in a chair and you're going forward to something, you'll rest your forearms on what that is, whether that's the bed, the coffee table, the sofa, whatever it might be. Okay, so beginning with the inhale. And holding the breath in. Place your hands, tiny cocktail straw exhale. Once you complete your exhale, deeply relax the belly and let the inhale blossom into the body. And allow the inhale to have its interest in the back hemisphere of the body. And for the back of the heart to soften, to release whatever it's been carrying, sort of sending the duties back to the third chakra, second chakra, first chakra. And then walk your hands back to your knees. We'll do this one more time. This is the last one. Begin with your inhale. And holding the breath in. Place your hands, tiny cocktail straw exhale. And then allow the body to relax, to receive the breath, and the mind can go to the even more subtle place of observing that the breath is happening. Profoundly relax your eyes and all five senses. And then walk your hands back towards your knees, rise up and just pause for a few moments in this upright position to sense the central channel of the body on which each of the chakras are sitting. Right? So you might even sense the sixth chakra right now. You might sense the fifth, fourth, third, second, first. Seventh is at the crown of the skull. Now we're going to come down to unwind the hips before Shavasana. So Pat could go to the Sarahjoy side camera now. And I will recommend you keep your blocks close by for the moment. So when you lie down, you can lie on your back so your knees are bent. Your feet will be hip distance apart to start. Take the arms into a T shape. Good. And then just allow the knees to roll down. The the feet can just stay hip distance apart. We're going to roll a few times. And when you're rolling, let the knees and the legs be almost like floppy, like a marionette, but encourage the deep low belly right here, the pelvis, to be that which is sort of driving. So when your knees go to the right and the legs act like marionettes, the marionette here, the puppeteer, is using the tone right here to come back up to center. And then the release down to the left, you'll need some tone on the right low belly. When you come up to center, use the right low belly. As your knees go to the right, tone the belly from right to left, left low belly. Rising up, you tone the left low belly, kind of like a fisherman reeling in the line. And then both knees down to your left. And then rise up to center. Make your feet wider now, as wide as your yoga mat. Okay, and let's take both knees down to stay for a short while. Let's go down to the right because you can see that better on the camera. Right, when you come down to the right, notice that my left knee doesn't reach the floor. Yours may not either, that's okay. And that this leg hopefully comfortably touches. If it doesn't, you can put a block under to give it support. And then I'd like you to press from the back of your left hip, press forward into the front of your left thigh here, so that this is an opening. And then you can sweep the left arm out to the side and turn your head to your left. And let the breath now, it can be very subtle, right? This is not a dynamic pose. This is not a pose where you might lose your balance. You don't need great stamina. We need subtle concentration. So let the breath be more subtle, like the whispering sound. You can feel it. You can sense it. The inner body receives the inhale and just gently allows the exhale to go without clinging or aversion. And then inhale, roll up to center, please. The feet are as wide as your yoga mat, and you can take both knees down to your left side. When you go down to your left, you're going to then press from the right butt into the front of the right hip, so that this is dynamic right here. Even if in the inner body here, it's like subtle. You're listening for the sound of the breath in through the body. Yeah. You're welcome to close your eyes and let this be an inward experience. We have kept the feet wide, like the width of the yoga mat, so that when the right leg comes down, it's not stacking on the left leg. Yeah, when you press the right hip forward right here, it opens the front of the right hip flexors here. Good, and then let's roll the knees and hips to center, please. Now, if you have your two blocks close by and you would enjoy this for Shavasana, you can take the two legs to Baddha Konasana. This is also a great time to cover up with your blanket, to put your eye pillow on. For those who prefer a more standard Shavasana, of course, you can take the legs out straight. But I'm going to encourage you to set up in what feels like a nourishing Shavasana for yourself right now. Give yourself the gift. You have worked hard in the practice. give yourself the gift of that which you need right now for being inward, for being restored. Good. Yes. As you come to rest in your shavasana, this is the most important pose in your whole practice, so very important. You've made yourself comfortable, let the mind and the body become more and more deeply still. That is me playing music for you right now. This is just the sound of Om at 432 hertz. Just the sound of Om. So enjoy. awareness of the sound of Om, awareness of the breath in your body without needing to make it larger. An awareness of the fading sound of the music. Allow awareness of the mind, the quality of your mind, the quality of your senses, the inner experience of your heart. And then you can lightly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Please bend your knees. And thoughtfully roll to your side. And please use both hands to come up to sitting. And now imagine the quality of the mind, like the surface of the water, clear, reflective, and unforgettable, even if the rain comes and causes the ripples. Please bring your hands together at your heart. May we, each of us here, and all beings with whom we come into contact with, and all beings near and far beyond our reach, may we have clear hearts and minds. May we have the resources that help us to become more stable, more resilient, more discerning, more loving. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.